These were posted by real people who needed somewhere to put what happened to them. 4 stories, all of them still unresolved. I didn't know anything was wrong until 11 days after it happened. That's the part that gets me. I went to sleep that night thinking everything was fine. I made dinner, I watched something on my phone, I fell asleep. And the whole time, he was outside. I'd gone to the store on a Tuesday. Nothing unusual. I was grabbing stuff for the week. Cereal, a rotisserie chicken, one of those bags of salad I never end up eating. It was maybe 8:15 p.m. The store was quiet. I noticed a guy in the bread aisle kind of hovering near me, but I didn't think anything of it. Men do weird things in grocery stores. I went through self-checkout, walked to my car, drove home. Normal. 11 days later, I'm going through my Ring footage because I thought a package had been stolen. I'm scrubbing through clips, and there he is, standing on my front step. I recognize the jacket immediately. Same guy from the bread aisle. The timestamp on the first clip is 9:04 p.m., about 40 minutes after I got home. The last clip he appears in is 1:17 a.m. He wasn't trying to break in. He wasn't doing anything. He was just standing there, facing the door. 4 hours and 13 minutes. I've watched the footage probably 30 times now, trying to find the moment he leaves, trying to see his face, trying to figure out what he was waiting for. The camera angle never catches his face clearly. I still check the app every morning before I get out of bed. My neighbor Dave knocked on my door on a Saturday morning and asked if I'd had any trouble with my car recently. I told him I don't have a car, I take the bus. He got this look on his face. He said his driveway camera, the one pointed at the street, had been picking up motion alerts every night for the past week, always between 2:45 and 3:10 a.m. He pulled up the footage on his phone to show me. There's a figure, heavy coat, hood up, walking slowly down the street, trying door handles on parked cars. Normal enough, right? Except Dave pointed at the screen and said, "Watch where he stops." Every single night, the figure walks past all the parked cars, doesn't touch a single one, and then stops directly in front of my house, in the empty space at the curb where a car would be parked, and tries to open something. Just stands there, working at nothing, for about 40 seconds each time, then walks away. I've lived alone in that house for 6 years. I have never owned a car. There is no car. There has never been a car in that spot. Dave asked if maybe a previous tenant had one. Sure, probably. But that doesn't explain why someone is still trying to get into it. Or why, on the footage from Thursday, when the figure straightens up to leave, it looks directly at my bedroom window. I was sitting on my couch eating leftover pasta at 10:48 p.m. when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. But when I looked at it, it wasn't unknown. It was my number. My exact number. Not similar. Not off by 1 digit. Mine. The message said, I was holding the bowl in my left hand. I put the bowl down. I walked to my front door and locked it. I checked the windows. I stood in my kitchen for probably 2 minutes just breathing. Then I went back and typed, "Who is this?" Immediate response, "You know who this is." I said, "No, I don't. How are you texting from my number?" It said, "Same way you are." I screenshotted everything and texted my roommate, who was visiting her parents 2 states away, and she called me immediately. While I was on the phone with her, the number texted again. Don't involve her. I've looked into this. Number spoofing is real. Someone can mask their number as yours. The timing could be a coincidence. Someone watching through a window, a hacked camera I don't know about. There are explanations. I've gone through every explanation. None of them cover the last message sent at 2:31 a.m. while I was asleep. There was no message the next day. There hasn't been one since. I worked the overnight shift at a mid-range hotel for almost 2 years. It's the kind of place where you learn to ignore things. Ice machine sounds,
Arguing behind doors, weird requests at 2 a.m. You stop noticing after a while. What I stopped noticing was the man in room 214. He checked in every few weeks, always paid cash at the desk. My manager handled those. Quiet, never called down, never needed extra towels. I'd see him sometimes in the corridor when I did my 3 a.m. rounds, coming back from the vending machine or whatever. He'd nod, I'd nod. I assumed he was a contractor or something. Guys like that stay in the same hotel for months on a work rotation. I had worked there for about 8 months when I mentioned him offhandedly to my manager, Marcus. Something like, 214 is such a quiet guest. I never hear a thing from him. Marcus stopped what he was doing. He pulled up the room management system and turned the screen toward me. Room 214 had been flagged as out of service for plumbing repairs, vacant and unbooked for just over 2 years. I said that was impossible. I'd seen him. I'd nodded at him in the hallway dozens of times. I knew what he looked like. Medium height, dark jacket, always walking away from me. Marcus asked me to describe his face. I couldn't. I have walked that hallway hundreds of times. I cannot tell you why I never noticed there was no room 214. If any of these happened to you, or something like it, the link to submit is in the description. Stay aware out there.